Your brother is a terrible person, a terrible manipulator, but I love it. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Spike, back again once again. And today, people, today we have our number one Sentai Gozyuger episode 8, and in this episode we get the introduction to the, what is he? The Ranger Hunter or Ring Hunter. And it turns out this guy is Hodu's older brother, and we do see in this episode that he ends up taking out our Red Ranger, our Donald Thunder, our Mighty Morphin Red Ranger in the last episode. I know that's not what it is, I'm just saying, but he ends up taking him out in the last episode, taking his ring, and also ends up capturing him. And they don't know why he ends up capturing him. He just grabs his body and jumps to a portal, and the rest of the team kind of goes about their day, I guess. But we do see that this guy is Hodu's older brother. And it turns out he is, well, I guess a lot of things have happened to him as of late. They kind of have a heart-to-heart talk with each other and stuff. When they have this heart-to-heart, they talk about their parents and things like that, and they talk about how like their parents adopted other kids and stuff, and they've already moved on, which it's very sad. But at the end of the day, they make something out of it by saying that, hey, we have each other and things like that. So he ends up inviting him to his actual company. We see that Kun is actually like the president of like this big AI contractor company, and his company is actually like the number one AI contracting company in the world. And it's like, yeah, so but we see that him and Hodu are still talking and stuff, and he actually offers Hodu a job to be like his right hand man, to work with him and things like that. And Hodu's down, man. He needs a job anyway, man. He needs some money on. So hey, big brother's here to bail him out. So he ends up he basically says yes to working with his brother. And we see that behind the scenes, Kun has some very nefarious, has a very like nefarious personality, a very manipulative personality, a very slick talking, you're gonna do what I say type of personality. I'm gonna make you feel bad about yourself, which is how he does Hodu later on in the episode. But we did see that Fire Candle's back. Fire Candle he basically getting ready to get his revenge on Goju Wolf now that his mech has been fully repaired now. And we see the Ranger Hunter, yeah, we see Ring Hunter, I'm so sorry. We said the Ring Hunter actually appears before the Queen in Brydon. Turns out Tega June is the name of the Queen, and she basically has the Ring Hunter is like her right hand man. And we see throughout the episode that he is taking out a lot of other Red Ranger ring users, and he is basically like taking a lot of them out. He offers them up to the Queen, but he also ends up using them for himself. And Fire Candle is not liking this dude, not liking him at all whatsoever. And Fire Candle ends up taking it upon himself to go find Goju Wolf himself, because he's the one that wants to take out Goju Wolf. He doesn't care about the rest of them, he just wants him. So we do see that the brother ends up revealing himself to be the guy that to be like the Ring Hunter, long story short. But he ends up manipulating Hodu into like thinking that he's nothing, you don't have a wish, like you shouldn't even be fighting and things like that. Like he said, you're gonna be my prey, and I'm gonna decide what prey that you go after. And Hodu's like, I am looking for a wish, I am this, he's trying to fight back on the negative things that his brother is telling him. But he basically tells Hodu that, nah, man, you ain't this ain't you're not that guy, man. Just bare your fangs, go attack those guys, because he's basically telling him to betray the Gozyuger, stop working with them, betray the Gozyuger, take their rings, stuff like that. And he eventually gets to Hodu, gets in his head and manipulates him into betraying everyone. And then Hodu actually goes off and he starts attacking everyone, while everyone is also attacking the Bell dudes, since Fire Candle came to the city, attacking the city and things like that, trying to get through to them. And he ends up fighting Fire Candle by himself, while the rest of the team is fighting the Ring Hunter. And while Hodu is battling Fire Candle, we see that he's very aggressive. Like, he's mad aggressive. Even when he was fighting the rest of the team, he was mad aggressive and mad, just talking down to them, telling them that, we're all using Tega Sword and fighting in this thing to get our own wishes. So us working together is weird and it's stupid. So everybody's basically like, all right, cool. Like, they don't try to talk to him at all. Like, they just completely just go off and just say, hey, if this is how you gonna be, then that's how it's gonna be, because this team isn't, we know that this team isn't really a team. They're not really friends, stuff like that. Like, hey, we're all like basically they're only working together to get something that they want. So it's like, yeah, like, I guess if one of us goes bad or whatever, one of us, goes off the deep end, it would just take your ring and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that to see a team like this, to a degree, in my opinion. I mean, we probably had some other Sentai teams that were like this at first, but it kind of like, you guys have been working together this long. Like, you guys aren't any type of friends at all. Like, you guys just ain't really messing with each other, especially Tyranno. Tyranno, he's really putting forth that whole, like, yeah, like, we're not friends, and we shouldn't be getting too close with each other and stuff. But while we see that Hodu is fighting Fire Candle, we see that he's very aggressive, but he starts to lose a little bit of his stride. And we see that the rest of the team is battling the Ring Hunter, but we see that he's also able to use the rings. He's able to use the rings, but instead of transforming into other rangers, he's actually able to summon avatars of them and have them fight for him. And he can also destroy them and transform them into their signature weapons and use those weapons. And he overall ends up defeating the rest of the team, but he doesn't take their rings or whatever. He just fires a gigantic blast at them, and which is really cool how he does it, because his I guess June sword, I'm gonna say June sword, because he actually uses Tega June. He uses Tega June's like ring. Like, he has a ring that looks like her, and he ends up using that because it has like a claw, like a little claw type thing, or a handle type thing on the side of it. So he rams it into this he ends up ramming it into this pillar, basically using it as leverage, to fight back the recoil of this blast. And he blasts them. They end up escaping and stuff. They end up getting out of the way and things like that, but he basically like leaves, right? So after Hodu's fight with Fire Candle is over, Fire Candle basically says that he's like, I can't fight you like this. I don't want to fight you. I don't feel no fire coming from you anymore, and stuff like that. He deems Hodu like unworthy to be defeated by him. So like, now you got one of your enemies that's like disappointed in you because they don't feel that fire, that vigor, that flame from you anymore, and he ends up leaving Hodu there. So Hodu ends up returning back to the team, but they all turn their swords on him, and they basically say that, hey, we're just gonna take your ring. And they all basically, they talk about their wishes and things like that, and he says that, hey, it doesn't matter, like, I don't care. He's like, it doesn't matter, I don't care, I don't have a wish, and he takes his rings off and throws it away and says that he quits the Gozyuger. And when he's walking away, he sees his brother is watching him, and he's like, yeah, you chose correctly, good job, little bro. And I'm like, your brother's a douchebag, dude. Your brother's an overall douchebag. But we see that next episode, Hodu is going to return with a new weapon and a new Tega Sword form, or Tega Sword Zord form, which it looks okay, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But overall, man, this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed this one, especially seeing the full kit of the Ring Hunter, and off the rip knowing his identity like that. Usually in stuff like this, we don't really see the identity of the Dark Ranger or Evil Ranger for a while. I guess at least one or two episodes, but no, they gave it to us right off the bat here. And yeah, and clearly just by looking at the Ring Hunter and looking at Hodu's brother Kun, you can clearly see that this guy's him. Like, the way he dresses, even his hair and things like that, you can clearly see that this guy's him. I still don't like the freaking gun thing on the helmet. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But other than that, this episode was cool. I can't wait to see how they're gonna this is gonna conclude in the next episode, because he ends up fighting his brother in the next episode with his new weapon. And I wonder how the rest of the team is gonna, come to grasp with this. And I wonder if they're gonna try and help him or anything like that, or try to help him or stuff like that, because eventually they're gonna have to become a team and they're gonna have to become friends and stuff like that. Or even if they go like the whole thing with just being frenemies and stuff, that's still cool too. But at the same time, I really do feel like they're gonna get to that point where they're actually gonna start caring and supporting each other to a degree. Maybe not 100%, but maybe they'll start actually supporting each other. But man, I wonder how Hodu's gonna get out of this rut that he's in. I wonder what's gonna happen to him to get him out of this way of thinking and get his brother's words out of his head, because his brother said some pretty messed up stuff to him. And man, I'm really feeling it for Hodu, man. And I know that Fire Candles is very much disappointed because his number one rival isn't his number one rival anymore. And also with the whole, I wonder what's going to be the story of how Kun became this. Like how did he come in contact with Tega Jun? Stuff like that. Was it the same way Hodu came into contact with Tega Sword? And what's the connection between Tega Sword and Tega Jun? Because even Tega Jun herself, she said in this episode that she requires rings and a groom. So were her and Tega Sword a thing? Maybe, I don't know. But whatever that is, I hope we get that conclusion soon. But other than that, what you guys think about this episode of No.1 Sentai Gozyuger? What do you guys think of the Ring Hunter? What do you guys think of Hodu's decision? What do you guys think of this team just off the rip betraying him and things like that? You guys let me know down in the comment section below. And remember, stay henshined.